What if I told you we could build $1 million business and do it in 12 months? Would you believe me? Would you believe me? Let's get Insta on here. Let's get Instagram on here. I think we're good. We're in that thing. Listen, welcome back. Welcome back, game changers. Welcome back, hustlers. Welcome back. This is episode 28, man. Episode 28 already. We're only what? February the 18th, and we're already on episode 28. So that means we're rocking. I appreciate you guys for sticking with your boy. You've been rocking with me each and every day. If this is your first time here, welcome and thank you for joining. Why are we here? We're building $1 million business and we're doing it from scratch. So every day I'm taking you behind the scenes to show you exactly the moves that I make, the conversations that I'm having, the tools that I'm using, the automations that I'm setting, and the collaborators that I'm posting as well. Everything is going to be revealed over the course of a year's long time. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for rocking with my boy, rocking with your boy. I would invite you, if you haven't signed up for the newsletter, do that ASAP. Sign up for the newsletter because we have two goals this year. One is to build $1 million engine. Okay, that's the first goal. The second goal is to build a 50,000 subscriber ecosystem with inside the newsletter. Today we're at about close to 6,000 and it continues to grow. We have about a good 10 and a half months to get there. So every member actually counts, right? The $1 million is proof point to show you that you too can build your own $1 million engine. The 50,000 ecosystem is for me because now I have an ecosystem of people that rock with me, people that want to follow me, people who are interested in elevating themselves or their brand image. And so now I can have people that I can speak directly to. So if you're just now joining me, my name is Patrick Hart, Hart, kind of like Kevin Hart. He's way funnier. It has way more money than me. But what I'm doing is actually building something in public that he's not doing for you today. And this is what you're going to get from me. Patrick Hart, known as That Healthcare Guy, THAT, Healthcare Guy across social media. You can follow me across any one of those social sites that you frequent the most. Army veteran, spent 6 years in the military, did 2 tours overseas, one right after 9/11. Also did spend over 15 years in healthcare, rising through the ranks, became an executive member of a technology company, sold the technology company at the end of 2018. In the beginning of 2023, I became a full-time entrepreneur. Now I've been on this journey and this path to creating opportunities for like-minded individuals who are interested in growing personal wealth, build their brand visibility, or just become a game changer when their own household or their family. So thank you guys for joining. I see more and more people streaming in. I see Robert Dunn, YouTube. I see my Instagram family is coming in as well. My TikTok family. Hey, I love my TikTok family. I'm new to TikTok, but you guys have been showing me love. Then I'm streaming on Facebook as well. And then we're streaming across. So we got Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, as well as YouTube. So we got 5 channels going live today, okay? But what if I told you can build $1 million playbook, right? $1 million business and do it in 12 months? Would you believe me? That's exactly what we're doing. Each and every day, we're going behind the scenes to show you just how you too can build your own $1 million playbook. So today's topic, we're talking about guest article spotlight and strategic scaling, right? So I'm going to feature somebody that I featured that posted a guest article for me. And then we'll talk about how you too can scale your business as well. Remember, the chat boxes are always open. Feel free to drop your first name, what platform you're streaming from. I'll say hi and thank you for joining. Just as a common courtesy. And then the other thing, too, is sign up for the newsletter if you haven't. And then lastly, before I get into the agenda, invite other like-minded individuals like yourself who are interested in becoming game changers, interested in changing their lives, interested in scaling their income, or interested in creating their own business so they can have their own personal wealth for themselves so they can change their family dynamics. So today we're talking about the guest article feature and then strategic spotlight. And so I want you to understand this. You don't scale alone. Nobody scales a business just by themselves. They don't scale alone. And I see my TikTok families coming in. All right. Scaling happens through proximity, not through hustle. Even though the title of my newsletter is called Hustling 25/8, it's really a play on words because that's what a lot of us end up doing. We feel like we're just hustling every single day, all the time, around the clock, but we're moving nowhere. Well, the Hustling 25/8 playbook is designed so you can hustle strategically. We no longer want to be in that hamster wheel. We want to get away from that. We want to start creating systems, tools, automations that actually are designed to amplify our brand, our presence, our income, and our business. So that's going to be very important. So today we're talking about scaling Today we're going to introduce a guest article and then strategic scaling as well. I want to add this. The biggest lie online that you've probably heard, right? And you hear it all the time, is the solo genius founder. That one person that started in their garage, and then all of a sudden they build a multi-billion dollar company. That's the biggest lie that you see online. A lot of you start to believe that stuff, right? Let me tell you exactly what goes on. How do people scale to become this millionaire, this billionaire? It's strategy, systems, collaboration, sponsors, and investors. It starts with one person maybe having a vision, right? And they start dibbling and dabbling. All of a sudden, they start to develop a strategy for themselves. Then they realize, now I got a strategy. Now I need some tools, some systems that's going to help me grow, right? Retain people, amplify my message, and create opportunities. So they start leaning into systems. The next thing that happens to grow their particular brand or their business, now they need collaborations. They need like-minded individuals who think like them, who can amplify their brand awareness. Then comes the sponsors and the investors, and it goes in that order. So if you're believing that lie, one person created something out of their garage and all of a sudden it became a multi-billion dollar business, it doesn't work like that. It may be one person at the head of it, but there's many people behind the scenes that you never see that helps you grow to hit your $1 million company as well. Every real business scales through collaborations and borrowed experience. So as you're creating your $1 million framework as well, remember this: every single business grows through scale, through collaborations and borrowed experience. Speed comes from learning from people who've already hit the wall that you're already approaching, okay? You can either make every mistake personally, or you can inherit wisdom, right? So the choice is yours. You can choose which one you want to do. This episode today is about shortening those timelines and not adding effort to our work as well. So pause really quick. I see more and more people joining. Thank you, family, for joining. Welcome and thank you. Sign up for the newsletter. Invite other people to these. I do these every single day, noon Central Standard Time. They're only 30 minutes episodes. We're on episode 28. So what does that mean? There's 27 additional episodes that you may have missed before. So use the QR code top right-hand corner, sign up for the newsletter. You can go to my playlist that I created on YouTube called Building $1 Million Business. You can watch all these episodes right now for free. I would encourage you to go watch these episodes right now versus later, because as we know, these social media sites, they've been trying to clear space for room for more content. So I can't guarantee that content is going to be there over the next 30 days, but it's there today, right? Sign up for the newsletter, go to the Building $1 Million Business so you can watch that. So have you ever noticed that content creators, they usually interview famous people, right? Have you thought about why they do this? They do this, I can already tell you, I'm going to save you some time. They do this for clout, because here's the thing: association elevates brands. If you as the viewer starts to think that such and such, okay, Pat, he's interviewing, you know what I'm saying, he's got Mark Cuban on his show, then you associate me with Mark Cuban as being, okay, I'm close to the money, or I'm close to the activity, or I'm close to, being that person. That's why a lot of content creators do that. Association elevates your brand. That's not what I'm doing, though. That's something different than what I'm doing. I may feature, some famous people in sometime in the future, but that's not what I'm doing. This is for the everyday game changers, the mid-level professionals, the everyday hustlers looking to create something for themselves, who's trying to grow their business from nothing to something, who wants that $1 million framework as well as playbook. This is what I do each and every day, teach you how to do that. What I'm doing is operational intelligence. I'm not going after clout. I'm teaching you how to operate your own business by yourself so you can get to where you want to be. Listen, I don't want motivation from people ahead of me. That's not what I want. You know what I want? And hopefully you want the same thing. I want their playbook. I want their playbook. And that's what I'm doing. Then I share it with you. So when I connect with people, like-minded individuals like yourself, who've been there, done that, who've accomplished amazing things, I want to partner with them, get some inside scoop and how they did it, share it with you. So now not only do I have the playbook, you have the playbook as well. So with that being said, I'm gonna tell you about my guest feature that I wrote about yesterday really quick. But before I do that, sign up for the newsletter if you haven't. We're growing that baby to 50,000. We're right at about 6,000 a day, so we're growing at the 50,000. And then invite other people, like-minded people like yourself, to join me every day, noon, Monday through Friday, Central Standard Time. We do these lives, and it's basically giving you a playbook and how to build your $1 million framework as well. All right, so I see more and more people feeding in. Thank you guys for joining. Now let's get to it. So in my newsletter, I drop it every Tuesday and Friday. Every Tuesday and Friday, it drops right around 9 Central Standard Time. So yesterday, I dropped another edition. Inside that edition, I had an article. And let me read the article to you, just because it's going to help me introduce my next guest. Let me read the article. The article is titled, Building a Presence That Actually Pays. We've all heard the advice, you need to be on LinkedIn. But for most of us, that feels like an invitation to join a never ending content treadmill, posting into a void and hoping for likes while our work actually sits on the back burner. Today's guest contributor is here to tell you that visibility isn't about popularity, it's about positioning. And I'm thrilled to introduce Olamat Soyoyi. Soyoyi. I want to make sure I get your name right. You can tap in if I didn't say it right, Olamat. But introduce Olamat Soyoyi, a personal brand strategist and social media manager who has helped founders and coaches across 4 continents turn their digital footprints into profitable legacies. Olamat, she doesn't believe in hustle culture content. Instead, she uses a systemized approach to build thought leadership that attracts high quality inbound leads and that kind that actually moves the needle for your business. And her article titled Building Visibility That Converts, How I Turn LinkedIn Presence into Profitable Legacy, Olamat breaks down 3 important things: the clarity gap, why most professionals fail before they even start writing; the right room strategy, how to reach decision makers, not just everywhere. She also talks about systems over hustle, her framework for maintaining a high impact presence without living on the app. If you're ready to stop chasing metrics and start building an asset that works for you, even when you're offline, this is definitely a must read. And here's the best part. You can go back and read it later, but I'm actually going to read it to you today because the thing is so powerful. It's packed with so much insight that could be a game changer to help you reach your $1 million playbook as well. And I want to add this before I get into reading the article. I admire Olamat for not just what she's achieved, but how long it took her to learn what she had to learn. She shares the mistakes she made, the money, the time, the reputation, the burnout. Many of us are at the exact same stage where her advice delivers the most power. All right. As we read her article, I want you to think about what part of her journey mirrors where you are right now. And here's why I chose Olamat, as a practitioner instead of a theorist, because she's a future mirror of my audience and where they are on their professional journey, right? So she's not just ahead of you because she's smarter, because it's not about being smarter. She's ahead because she's already made the mistakes that most of us are about to make. So with that being said, I'll open it up for comments really quick before I read the article. I can see if I get my screen sharing working for me, and then we'll go into this baby. Let's see if we can share this screen right. Let's see. Wait, I'll pause here and make sure I share my screens. Yep, stick with me. Stick with me. I'm about to share my screen. If I can figure it out how to do it, you got to be smarter than the equipment that you have, right? Share screen. Yeah, that's what we're gonna share this screen right here. Okay, hopefully you guys can see that. I'm gonna go back to TikTok and make sure you guys can see my screen as well. Okay, here we go. All right, we should be in there now. We should be in there. I think everybody should be able to see the screen. If you can't see the screen, say something now. But this is a picture of Olamat, and her article right here is titled "Building Visibility That Converts: How I Turn LinkedIn Presence into a Profitable Legacy." Remember, if you can't read this, you can sign up for the newsletter. You can go to the guest articles tab. You can actually start to read this yourself. It's in there. It's free. So she's giving this advice free of charge. So you definitely want to tap into it. Let's read this. Visibility is not about popularity, it's about positioning. Over the last few years, I've worked with founders, executive coaches, and professionals across 4 continents and over 11 countries, helping them move beyond noise to build credibility, attract high quality clients, and grow sustainably through visibility that matters. And I've learned something very clear. LinkedIn is not just another social platform, it's leverage, a digital portfolio that communicates credibility, competence, and clarity in rooms where decisions are made, even when you are not present. But most people approach visibility the wrong way. They think personal branding means oversharing, overchasing, or chasing attention, or posting every day without direction or an option. In reality, visibility that converts is built intentionally through strategy, storytellings, and systems that skyrocket your business growth. Today, I want to share with you what I've done in the trenches, what has worked, what hasn't, and the practical steps you can implement today if you want LinkedIn to become a long-term asset and not just a content treadmill. The misconception that holds people back. One of the biggest misconceptions I challenge is this: personal branding isn't about being loud. It is not. It's about being clear and trusted. Most professionals already have expertise. What they lack is positioning. In a digital world where opportunities are increasingly influenced by online perception, visibility no longer is optional for you if you want to attract more global and national opportunities. Where my work began, and yours should too. Communication before strategy. She goes on to say, long before LinkedIn frameworks and brand clarity sessions, I was drawn to storytelling. As a teenager in boarding school, I was known for gathering my peers to share stories that captured attention and sparked connection. Even then, it was clear my strength was not creativity, it was communication. That early inclination led me to study mass communication in university. Many people speak, but very few truly communicate. And that foundation became central to my work today, helping brands articulate what they do, why it matters, and why the right people should trust them. My entry into LinkedIn was not planned. She goes on to say, my professional journey began in marketing and communication, including entrepreneurship, SEO writing, and brand strategy. I briefly explored running a fashion business before I found myself consistently drawn back to communication, specifically helping businesses clarify their message and position themselves effectively. But I didn't plan to become known for LinkedIn. Initially, I was active on Facebook, but I realized something. Decision makers and business leaders were most present on LinkedIn. So I started by sharing simple promotional content, linking freelance services, and learning the platform organically. Over time, people began asking, how have you positioned yourself so effectively? That question became the turning point. What started as a personal experimentation evolved into clear expertise, helping professionals build thought leadership, attract inbound opportunities, and monetize their presence through strategic positioning. Then the next one is what works? Visibility that drives results, not just metrics. She goes on to share, from the beginning, I never believed in posting for attention alone. My focus has always been about profitability, clarity, and long-term growth. One of the most defining projects I worked on involved a startup founder and a financial coach who came to me overwhelmed and uncertain about how to monetize their expertise. Through strategic brand clarity, positioning, and LinkedIn content, she gained over 1,000 targeted followers in 30 days. She generated nearly 300 inbound leads and closed over $25,000 in sales. That moment led to a startup that scaled to 7 figures in her local currency with a short period of time. Across my work, I've helped clients attract hundreds of qualified inbound leads, supported brands in closing multiple high-ticket deals, and generated over 8 million organic views on LinkedIn. I also designed LinkedIn training and strategy for 9-figure European office furniture manufacturer in Germany. The common thread, you ask? Strategy always comes before content. The framework, how to build visibility that actually converts. If you want LinkedIn visibility that drives business outcomes, here's a process I use with my clients. Step 1. Now she's giving us the framework. Come on now. She's giving, not only, come on now. Oh man, now we're about to get into the framework. She's delivering the framework. Step 1, start with brand clarity, not content. Before writing a single post, I begin with discovery, deep conversations, brand clarity questionnaires, market research, positioning gap analysis, because content without clarity becomes a gamble. Ask yourself, what do I want to be known for? Who exactly am I speaking to? What problem do I solve better than others? What should the right person trust me? Why should the right person trust me? Clarity is foundation. Step 2, position yourself in the right room. Visibility is not about reaching everyone. It's about reaching the right people consistently. A strong LinkedIn presence communicates competence, credibility, relevance, as well as proof. Your profile and content should answer one question immediately. Why you? Your profile, and then she goes on to step 3. Build thought leadership through value, not noise. Thought leadership is not motivational posting. It's consistently communicating insight. A simple content structure I'd recommend. Now she's giving us recommendations. Come on now. Teach what you know that your ideal clients are interested in. Share how you've seen and experienced it work. Break down mistakes people make. Offer frameworks people can apply and how it can help them. And then your expertise should speak for you. Step 4, use systems, not hustle. I don't believe in hustle culture content. So strategic growth means working smarter. That includes, now she's going to tell us what it includes: content batching, automation of repetitive tasks, repeatable frameworks, clear weekly visibility routines, leveraging high performance formats. Yeah, leveraging high performing formats, prioritizing posts that attract inbound demand. Consistently becomes easier when it's systemized. The line that I will not cross, she'll tell you right now, listen, I'm not going to cross this line. Visibility is not neutral. It amplifies intent. I refuse to promote businesses that do not provide real value or meaningful solutions. Faith, integrity, and ethical responsibility guide every decision in my work. Growth must be honest to be sustainable. Influence that extends beyond the metrics. Through collaborations with national and multinational brands such as North Snow UK, Utiva, Pan Atlantic University, and Feed Coyote, I've used my influence to amplify solutions that educate, empower, and create impact. My recognition of Fabicon, one of the top 200 LinkedIn female creators worldwide in 2023, stands not just as a milestone, but as evidence that credibility still matters. Then she gives her final thoughts right here. Visibility as legacy. Looking ahead, I'm focused on helping more businesses become visible to the right people, scale sustainable, build profitable brands online, and I hope to see personal branding evolve from random posting to intentional leadership. Content designed to create impact, generate qualified leads, and leave a meaningful legacy. Because visibility, when done right, can change a business for good. It can accelerate growth. It can help professionals build lasting influence and attract the right people and opening the right doors. At its core, my leadership is defined by service. It's a privilege to help businesses scale on LinkedIn and beyond by building brands that are seen, trusted, as well as remembered. If you want a simple place to start today and how, audit your LinkedIn. Then she's going to tell you what to do. Audit your LinkedIn for your profile clarity. Define one problem you solve clearly. Create 3 content pillars based off your expertise. Share one real lesson that you've learned this week. Focus on positioning, not popularity. And then she concludes with this. It is a privilege to help businesses scale on LinkedIn and beyond by building brands that are seen, trusted, as well as remembered. Then she dropped her contact information. Boom. That's how you write an article. That's how you tell people what you do. That's how you change people's lives. That's how you show the pivots. That's how you grow from nothing to something. That's how you have a wonderful impact. Then she drops her contact information. So really quick, if you want to take a screenshot of that or write it down, you want to get her contact information, tap in with her, or sign up for the newsletter. Then you're going to have all these guest articles all the time because they're free for you to join, and these are free for you to read as well. So let me see if I can stop sharing really quick and go back to where I was at. Let's see if we can stop sharing. Okay, I think I stopped sharing on that screen. What about this screen right here? Okay, I think I stopped sharing on that one. So we're back. We're back. Listen, let me pause really quick. Let me thank Olamide for her content contribution because it was absolutely fire. She shared so much insight, so much knowledge that's going to help us. That's going to help you create the playbook that you're looking for, from grow from $0 to $1 million. And man, it is absolutely fire. So if you want to go back and read that, go back and read that. But let's get into some of the insight that I want you guys to take from this really quick before I wrap up. Based on the article, Building Visibility That Converts by Olamide Soyoyi, here are the 4 moments that I extracted from her journey in the framework that I wanted to share with you. One, her scaling trigger, right? So she talks about the turning point for Olamide occurred when her personal experimentation on LinkedIn began attracting organic increase. After moving from Facebook to LinkedIn to find decision makers, people started asking her, how have you positioned yourself so effectively? That specific question shifted her path from general freelance marketing to a specialized focus on helping others build thought leadership and monetize their presence too. She talks about the hardest challenges, the loudest misconceptions, overcoming the belief that personal branding requires loud oversharing or chasing viral attention. She notes that the most professionals struggle with positioning rather than lack of expertise. Then she talks about the content treadmill, avoiding the trap of posting every day without a clear direction or system, which often leads to burnout rather than business results. Number 3, she talks about strategies that actually work. She goes in to talk about brand clarity, how before creating content, she uses deep discovery, market research, positioning gap analysis to ensure the foundation is solid. Then she goes on to speak about intentional thought leadership, using specific frameworks, teach what you know, share experiences, break down mistakes, offer frameworks. She said this strategy helped one of her clients close $25,000 in sales and gain over 1,000 followers and over 300 inbound leads in 30 days. Systems over hustle. She talks about this, implementing content batching and repeatable frameworks make consistency manageable without hustling 24/7. And then lastly, she talks about the mistakes that she regrets. While Olamide, she focuses on her successful frameworks, she also highlights critical mistakes often made by others, meaning me, maybe you, and the implicit and how implicit it is earlier, and and implicit in early her personal experimentation phase that she now talks against and she regrets, right? She talks about chasing metrics over profitability, focusing too much on vanity metrics, likes, or views instead of qualified inbound leads. She also goes on to talk about promoting low value businesses. She explicitly states this. Now she refuses to work with businesses that do not provide real value, noting that growth must be honest, ethical, and sustainable. And then lastly, she talks about random posting, regretting the random posting approach in favor of intentional content designed to leave a meaningful legacy. So listen, if you haven't tapped in with Olamide on LinkedIn, you want to tap in with her, give her a follow. She's been doing this in the game for a little bit. She's been changing games. She's been changing people's outcomes. She's been changing people's impacts, and she's been changing people's pocketbooks. So you may want to tap in with her. Now, lastly, I'm about to close this thing out. Why am I building this out? Why did I spotlight Olamide? Because part of my strategy, if we're building $1 million framework, you remember I opened it up about the solo founder who became a multimillionaire or a billionaire, and you think they did it by themselves? No, it was systems, right? We talked about systems. It was automations. It was having a vision. But all of that begins to attract sponsors as well as investors in your business, right? And for me, and we talked about collaboration. So for me to grow $1 million framework, I cannot do this alone, right? And so there's this collaboration factor that you should probably consider in your business. And I created the guest article features page where I can spotlight everyday hustlers like you and I, everyday game changers like you and I. People that are where we want to be, that we admire, that they've been through the dirt in order to get there. So that's why her feature is so freaking powerful, right? Networking for me is a growth strategy. I'm not just collaborating, I'm modeling scalable authority building. And that's so freaking important. It's different. Let me add this. Audience sharing beats audience stealing. We're not trying to steal anybody's audience. The goal is to amplify each other's brand. And if we're able to do that, I mean, you should think about this in your strategy. You can actually grow faster than trying to steal from somebody, right? Contributors, you know what your contributors want? They want a distribution system more so than money, because we know if I can distribute somebody's piece of content and then they can share my audience, it's going to amplify their brand, their awareness, as well as their impact. This is a strategy you should probably consider modeling as well. A growing platform becomes a magnet for expertise. That's what we're trying to create here. We're trying to create that one platform you come to, everything is going to be here. I'm going to solve how do you grow from being a mid-level professional to reaching the C-suite. I'm going to solve how do you become an entrepreneur on your terms. I'm going to solve the ad spend. How do you spend money effectively without wasting money? I'm going to solve the how do we collaborate and don't over collaborate. I'm going to solve how do we network, because we know this, your net worth is only as good as your network. So it's important that you network with the right people if your net worth is going to be where it needs to be. I'm building an ecosystem here, not a brand. My newsletter is the ecosystem. What you see today, me talking, yeah, this is my brand. It helps out my brand. But the newsletter is the ecosystem. And I want to explain this flywheel really quick before I let you guys go. Your audience grows. Once your audience begin to grow, your experts want exposure, right? They want to collaborate with you. Content quality begins to increase. And then your audience starts trusting you more because you're delivering something of value. Remember, every time that we're doing something, you have to be providing tremendous value. If you're not providing value, you might as well be out of the game, right? So provide tremendous value. And then lastly, once all this is in place, then your monetization increases. And your monetization can increase in a lot of different ways. That people can start buying your products. But the big thing is your sponsors start wanting to collaborate with you. They want to pay you for the platform that you're built. So this is another avenue for building your $1 million framework. So live with this. At first, you chase opportunities, right? At first, we're chasing opportunities, but eventually, opportunities, they compete to be featured. So there's a new strategy for you that I'm sharing with you. Maybe you want to add it to your playbook, but I'm always going to give you the insight. I want to leave you with this, or I want to ask this question. Hey, where do you feel stuck today? Like in scaling yourself, personally, professionally, Where do you feel stuck? Let me know. What stage are you in right now? Are you in that starting phase? Are you in that growing phase? Or are you in that optimizing phase? This is going to help me out so much more as we create more and more content on a daily basis. If I have more and more guests that's going to be involved in the future, because I want to make sure that the guests, they're actually solving the problems that you guys are facing today, right? We're building $1 million framework. And some of those problems, we start up here, like the mental toughness of being in the game, the self-doubt that we create, the confusion, feeling like we're alone. All of that comes part with growing $1 million framework as $1 million brand. Some of that gets into the automations, the tools that we're using, which tools are going to help you with the right reach, what platform should we be on, where we're going to have the best bang for our buck from an ad spend. All these things we need to solve over the course of this year, right? And I hope to bring you guests that help you answer those questions, as well as topics that are designed to help you get unstuck so we can move into the money, right? We're trying to move into the money. Lastly, I want to invite you. Olamide, she did an amazing job on her guest feature. And if you go to the newsletter and you go to the guest articles tab, you're going to see many others in there as well. But I want to invite you. If you're a thought leader, you're a creator, you're a mid-level professional, I don't care who you are. If you're somebody that feels like you have a story to tell very similar to that, here's the framework that I want you to follow, right? I'm looking for real experiences. I want you to share what actually you've done, not theory. I'm looking for actionable advice. I want you to give the readers like steps that they can implement. I'm looking for strategic focus. I want you to help the readers work smarter, not harder. I'm looking for original content, right? It doesn't mean that it's not posted anywhere else. It's going to live on Hustling 25/8. And then the word count needs to be between 1,000 and 2,000 words. If you feel like that's that, sign up for the newsletter. Go to the guest articles tab at the very bottom. There's a submit your feature button. Submit it. It comes right to me. I'll take a look at it and see if it meets the criteria. If it meets the criteria, I'll let you know. We'll move forward. If you're a little off and there's some tweaking that needs to be done, I'll share that with you as well. And if you submit a feature and it just doesn't work, I'll let you know it doesn't work, and I'll tell you why it doesn't work, and maybe you can revamp it and then come back later. So I invite you, if you feel like you want to be a guest feature, you got what it takes to feature something very similar to what Olamide did, please slide into that DM, slide into that guest feature, and hit me up and let me know. All right. So today we were learning from someone who scaled. Tomorrow we're going to learn about how we operationalize scaling conversations so growth doesn't break the bank. Listen, the real flex, it isn't doing everything yourself. It's building something that grows even when you're not in the room. With that being said, guys, I'm Patrick Hart. We're Hustling 25/8. Thank you for joining. I'll see you guys tomorrow.